Do they get along?
Yeah, they do, but you know what? They really don't see each other that much. That's the thing. We don't have a whole lot of activities where all the families come
They get
together.
along? Yeah,
Yeah, they do, but you know what?
that was my record. I'm trying to stream this to YouTube
Oh,
so that we have a recording you guys can look at afterwards. Um, that's what I was doing there. Sorry, sorry.
no, no,
It,
no, that's fine. You take care of business. I'm
yeah,
just hopping around here, seeing what more I can maybe get out of.
yeah. What do you do, Mimi? What's your activity, your farming activity or business activity?
Yeah, we actually have a food manufacturing company called Mimi's Mountain Mixes.
Oh, I
And
love it.
yeah, we make baking mixes that you add a can of beer or a soft drink to and you stir and bake them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're starting our 8th year. Actually, yeah, we're in our 8th year. I had to think a minute. But we're kind of getting at the age where if we can sell the business, we'd like to do that. And if we
Yeah.
can't, it is what it is.
You should be able to. I mean, something like that, I think is saleable. I would assume. I mean, I'm no expert, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Well, that's what we were
have
kind
to
of.
put the word out. Get put together a little package and put the word out, and you never know.
Yep, that's the ticket. That's the ticket. We had it listed with a business broker, but he's been very disappointing. The only one person in 10 months that he brought to us was
Oh my God.
incredibly unqualified. It was just a waste of time. I didn't want to be unkind, but it was
Yeah.
a waste.
Well, you're gonna get a perspective here about live streaming, and one of the things that you are completely free to do in your live stream is to let people know that you would like to sell it, that it's potentially available, and you never know who's going to be watching. It can be a very large audience, so that's just something to keep in mind that you might be able to include in your show.
I'm looking forward to it. I listened to the different tutorials and saw the different examples.
I'm
So
impressed.
yeah, just trying to get my mind wrapped around the whole thing would, I think, sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. Hey, Melissa Wallace, how are you?
Hey, Dennis. Hey, Mimi Lynn, how are you?
Doing
I'm
great.
going to kind of be a quiet participant. I had a knee reconstruction a couple days ago, so I'm going to hang with you as long as I can off camera and with painkillers and all.
Oh my God, you poor
Yeah,
thing.
I am now 5.5 weeks out of a total knee replacement. I get it.
Yeah, no doubt. It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
I tell you though, we're all going to live forever. I think we're going to be bionic.
I
I,
am waiting for the bionic moment to hit. When
yeah,
did you start feeling better, Mimi?
thank you. I hope you do soon, sweetie. I mean, it's I have physical therapy 3 times a week now, and it's good, but boy, am I beat afterwards. So I just left physical therapy about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, for sure. When did you start feeling better?
Probably really better week number 3. The first week I literally do not remember much of. I don't even remember. I don't remember my husband driving me home from the hospital.
Nice.
Vaguely remember my son being here to help me up the 3 steps into the house. The second week, it was a good amount of pain. Third week, I felt better. I'm also a pastor of a church. So after the second week, I was actually back preaching. I just had to sit on a stool where I could keep my legs straight out. And and they're
Well,
such
hey,
sweethearts, they didn't
appreciate
care.
it.
It's easy to overdo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you
I'm
had a
looking forward to the next one.
so was yours reconstructed or a new knee or what?
Yeah, complete replacement.
Yep, that's what mine was.
Yep.
Okay. Where are you located at?
We're in Greensboro.
Okay, you're not too far. I'm over here in Hendersonville.
Oh, there you go. Yep, pretty close.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, how are you, buddy?
Good. Living large.
All right. I have to tell you too my knee replacement story because it's one of the greatest stories I have. So a friend of mine's father was really in bad shape. I mean, I think he was about 75 years old at the time, and his knees were so bad that the only way he could get into his house was to lay on his stomach and pull himself across the threshold. So
Oh,
I think he may have waited a little long. So,
sounds-
and my friend was like, God, you got to have knee replacement. So anyway, he ended up having both done at the same time.
oh man.
I know, he's crazy.
Mhm.
So then I saw him about a year later, and he was walking around. He was all happy. I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "Great." I said, "You glad you had the knee operation?" He goes, "Well, I should have done it a long time ago." I goes, "Why is that?" He goes, "Well, last year I won the national championship square dancing for my age group."
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
There's hope for us.
Oh my God,
Yes.
I just laughed. You have to know this guy to really appreciate it, but still, I mean, can you imagine dragging yourself into your house on your stomach? And he
No.
did it for a long time. I mean, it wasn't,
Mm.
yeah, so pretty
I
crazy.
walked into the house one day before I had anything. I had just blown the meniscus and I was carrying a cake. And as I walked in the house, I stepped in on the wrong foot.
Ugh.
Just started going down. I'm leaning against the wall and I'm sliding down, yelling to my husband, "Save the cake! Save
Did he?
Important.
priorities."
That's
Oh my-
exactly
Did he
it.
save the cake? Did he succeed?
Yeah, he did. And then he ran back and grabbed me and pulled me up.
Oh,
Nicely
awesome.
done.
I have a knee story too.
Okay.
Several years ago, I blew out my knee while walking a very small.
You froze up
Uh-oh.
on us, Jack. Oh, there you are. Okay, go ahead.
A small what?
Jack froze, and he'll be participating
To
the
the
rest.
doctor.
There he goes.
Did I-
Okay.
Did I freeze up? I blew out my knee walking the dog. It tripped me up, and was explaining to the doctor how I blew out my knee. And the first thing he prescribed was a better story.
You were being dragged by a wolf through the forest.
Actually, I was walking the dog, and there were these thugs mugging this little old lady, and I tried to intervene, and they kicked my butt.
What a
Much
guy.
better. Much better.
No, we have to modify it. You kicked their butt, but you did get an injury.
Yeah,
There you go.
I was
Combat.
trying to keep it plausible.
Yeah.
That was great.
Renati, how are you?
Good.
All right. So I'm not quite sure who's going to come and go. So we'll go ahead and get started in the interest of time. Unfortunately for Renati, she's going to be familiar with a lot of what we're doing, but that's okay. So my name is Dennis Trotz. I'm the director of Accelerate Rural, which is a grant-funded small rural business accelerator. And what we do is we work with small businesses, which often include farmers, especially food producers, that sort of thing. And we help them basically try to grow by reaching markets through digital activities like websites and other things. And we are big fans of live streaming e-commerce. People are tuning in here, so I'm just give them a second. And the reason is actually pretty prosaic. The reason we like it is because the conversion rate of visitors to buyers of your stuff is dramatically higher on live streaming than it is even in a physical store. It's amazing the percentage of visitors who will actually buy something from you. I think you'll be surprised. least that's been our experience so far. Now, we've done one of these, we did November. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute and some of the outcomes of that. But Jack was so kind. He ended up signing up for our class, and we somehow convinced him that some sort of partnership with him and the department, that we could actually even have a bigger event and reach more potential merchants and even reach more potential customers with the help of the Department of Agriculture and so forth. So that's kind of how we arrived at this idea in this place. What I'm going to do today, this is being recorded, and we're going to have several of these between now and the event. So don't feel like if you don't get it, you're lost. You can always reach out to me individually. I'll make sure that I put the wrong email in so you can't reach me. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll have the ability. You'll have the ability to connect with me, and others. You'll be able to also talk to folks who've already done this, that are in our class and so forth. And that's really helpful. And I like to think of this effort in this group, we're all basically in it together, and there's no real quote competition in the sense, so you can feel real comfortable reaching out to other people and talking to them. And in general, they'll tell you what they experience, and it'll just save you a lot of time. Okay, so I apologize to Denise and Renate and whoever else is in the class that's here. But I have to go over this one little crazy person that is near Asheville, because there's a lot of things that happen here that I want to introduce you to and also explain. And then hopefully you can say, oh, I could incorporate some of that or whatever. So I will warn you, this is off the hook. It is really different. It's not something you've seen before or even thought of before. But I can tell you that this is a small farm outside of Asheville. And in March, they were featured on NBC News for their efforts. And part of that resulted in them gaining over 800,000 followers on TikTok and other social media. So they have a lot of people that watch them. And given that it is crazy, I'm not implying that any of you should be this crazy, but I am going to stop during it. And I'm going to point out certain things that are being done and how impactful that can be, some of those ideas and some of those ways of doing things. I also want to start off by saying that, we all tend to think in certain directions. So we think of our website, we think of our grocery stores, we think of maybe it's our food service customers, all these different, and you tend to think of them all as unrelated channels. They're all different, right? And they all have a different way that you pursue it. I would argue that with you all, particularly anyone related to food, you actually have the opportunity to kind of reinvent all of that kind of thinking. It's really not individual separate channels. I would argue it's all the same thing. It's all about your brand and what you do and your personality and what you stand for and all that kind of stuff. The live streaming gives you a place to establish that. And even though maybe you'll end up not even doing live streaming over the long run, but I can promise you that it will introduce a lot of people to your brand and to you. And I would argue also that it's very difficult for someone like Amazon to compete with you. They can't, and you'll see why in a second, why I think that. But by really going about it in this approach, I think there's really no upper limit to how large your business can be, other than your own personal choice or your own comfort level with doing various things. So we're going to start off with just a few minutes with a company called Appalachian Standard. This is a family farm, a greenhouse operation in Candler, North Carolina, right outside Asheville. And they are primarily CPD sellers. Again, a complicated product, bordering on the edge of legality at times. It's a tough product category, in my opinion. And they also, they grow plants and trees and all kinds of stuff in their greenhouse. So it's not just this, but this is kind of their moneymaker. So with that, we'll just take a few minutes to watch this, and I'm going to stop it as we go just to point out things that hopefully are helpful. Jack, is that full screen? Can you tell me? Just thumbs up. Okay. Can't hear you, Jack. Hopefully that's full screen.
You're good. You're good, Dennis.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm sorry. On my screen, it's only a third of my screen, so it's hard to follow. So let's give it a shot.
Oh, there we go, everyone. What is this tune, Mommy?
It's Johnny Carson's intro.
I like it.
Do a little throwback.
Hello, Maddie. What's up, Dad Doing Darkness Bringer? Hello, Dawn. Hello, everyone. Okay. Hopefully the website doesn't break, baby. Woo! Okay. We have our first.
Okay, we'll stop here. So this is a mother and a daughter. Okay, and the daughter is, I think she's 23. She recently dropped out of Western Carolina after about 6 different majors, from what I can tell. And the mother and the father, the husband is a military veteran of some kind, and he's bought this farm. I don't know exactly where they're from. They're not from Western North Carolina. That's pretty clear. But they bought this farm outside of Asheville. And they have a couple of things going on here. First of all, I want to point out a few things. The first thing to look at is their set. Okay. So in this case, it's 2 people sitting next to each other. You can see the microphone. And they've got a couple of plants in the background and just basically a plain white wall. It's, I don't know what kind of room it is, but it's not fancy. It's very, very kind of plain and simple. But there's a couple of things on here I'm going to call your attention to, and then we're going to watch them in action. So over here on the left, if you can see my cursor, I'm not sure you can, you see 5750. That is a countdown timer for their show. So the show is 1 hour, and that counts down throughout the show to give a sense of urgency and a sense of fear of missing out, or whatever all of the various cliches that are used to create a sense of urgency or a sense of time. But that's some kind of, I think it may even be an iPad. I'm not sure what it is, but it just counts down the time. That's all it does. Now, next to it is a monitor. I also don't know if it's an iPad or what it is, but you can see on there, it has the word 50 left, and it says Vessel Bundle 1. So this is some sort of product that they're about to start talking about that they're going to sell, and they're going to sell 50 of them. And every time a sale is made, that number goes down. And again, it's designed to show, number one, that it's selling. Number two, you better buy or it's going to be at 0 before you know it. So those are 2 things, a very simple set, nothing complicated. They do their entire show using iPhones, okay? Using iPhones to do the broadcast. They're just on a tripod. It's not complicated. The other thing that they do a pretty good job of, if you notice, you can see both of their faces pretty clearly. Looks fairly well lit. Lighting is important. We like ring lights. You can look them up on Amazon. They're not expensive, very lightweight, and they give you kind of a soft light. It's not a harsh, bright light. It's kind of a soft light. I just have one. If you look at me, I'll turn mine off, and you can get a little bit of an idea of the difference. Not huge, depending on where your place is, but The current thinking on this is actually 3 ring lights, 1 in the middle and 2 on the side. That seems to be a kind of an emerging thing that gives you, it takes away shadows. It gives you kind of a real even color. And these ring lights have an adjustment so you can try different brightness. Like if your face is near a window or some kind of light source, you may not need it, right? So you just have to test it and see what's going to work for you. So just to kind of, and the last thing, you'll see this blue, navy blue kind of block next to them. This is actually a chat window. And this is on the Pop Shop Live app. And here you'll see all of the comments by the customers and by the people in the event. You'll see them come in, you'll see them, there's no talking. They're not going to talk to you, directly, but they are going to chat and send messages. And you'll see that one of the reasons they have 2 people doing this is one of them kind of focuses on that. And you'll see how she does that. She greets everybody, says hello, whatever. And some of our sellers in our class, what they do is they set up an iPad, and this is in addition to their iPhones that they're using. And the iPad, you can see the chat better, right? It's bigger. And so they have that going at the same time. So you have your phone doing the broadcast, and then you have an iPad or some other way to make the chat and other material easier to see. It's hard to squint at a phone, especially when you're live. You might be nervous or whatever. Any questions at this point or thoughts, reactions? Okay. Let's keep going.
Bundle Live, everyone. Hello, Healing. Hello, Gina. Yes, baby. Ooh, ooh. We are live in the
I
hizzy.
should have worn my stretchy pants tonight.
Oh,
Sorry.
baby. Q&A. Let's pin that, darling. Got no pressure. Diamonds on the day. Death Dealing Dark Springer. Do we have the RDL video? I would love to see it. Hello, Grace. What's up, Crystal, Chelsea, Anna, Paige? What is up, everyone? Y'all, this is our first lo-fi.
Okay, so these folks go live 3 times a week, and each of the 3 shows is completely different, right? This one they call lo-fi, low fidelity, and they're not trying to make you think it's snazzy and professional. They could give a damn less about that. This is really kind of who they are and what it's all about. And this is their primary selling show. One other show that I've watched is Friday morning. They have a little bit more of a, I won't call it technical, but they might have someone like a guest from one of the companies that makes their products or something. And they'll be talking about, hey, how do you use this cream, or how do you use this product? That's a little bit, that's what I've seen. I don't know if they're still doing that. And I'm not sure what the 3rd show is, but it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think is what they've kind of settled in, or settled on, if you will. And here you can see in the navy blue, you can see some names popping up, and they're coming up on the chat. It says hello, hello, and so forth. These are people that are reaching out to these folks on an interactive basis. So paying attention to that is a pretty important thing. You're going to start off most likely with not a lot of people because this is your first time, but that will build. But I do want to point out that that is important.
Since the NBC thing.
Oh no.
Isn't that so cool? Hello. Okay, wait. The Instagram, I need to scoot you guys in a little bit.
Sorry, the music got really terrible there for a second.
Okay, so they were featured on NBC News, and that drove an ungodly amount of traffic to their effort. Okay, so that was a nice thing that happened. I did want to point out the wheel behind her, the colorful wheel. And this is actually pretty common, I've noticed. And what that is, and the way these people use it, if you spend $100 on your purchase, you get a spin of that wheel. And it'll be some kind of extra prize or effort, or not effort, but an extra extra something or other. And so I also want to make the point that, you know, sometimes people ask me, should I have a script? A script is fine, but I don't think it needs to be a script with words, not to be obtuse. But what you need to think about is structure your show so that it's kind of something that people understand. So like, for example, what we're watching here, they're doing their greeting and they do it that way every time, right? Every show starts just like this. They're dressed up crazy. They greet all the people that come on. And then they have a number of things that happen during the show that are purposeful and are part of a process that they go through every single show. Spinning that wheel, honking their horn, they sing songs, they got all kinds of stuff. But it is somewhat organized in the sense that it's the same in every show. It's not just ad hoc, random. It's the same every time. So they have scripted out very, you know, and if you think about in the old days, like a kid's show or a favorite TV show, I always use the example of Red Skelton used to come out after his show and thank everyone and tell some jokes. And that was every show, right? That was just part of what Red Skelton did. And I know many of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but still that there, you see it in, like, you know, the kids shows are particularly that way. The kids know what to expect, and the same thing happens, you know, story time or Art Linkletter with As the Kids Say the Damnedest Thing, you know, all this kind of stuff. I realize I'm dating myself, but that's, I'm sorry. I haven't watched TV in 20 years, so what can I say? So I just want you to keep in mind that kind of the process steps that they're doing, and think about it, how you might incorporate it.
Okay, I got
I
something
need to
else.
scoot the Instagram in a little
Okay,
bit.
scoot us in a little
Hi,
bit.
Instagram, this is my
Scoot us
hand.
in.
Hi, Facebook and YouTube, that's my hand. Okay.
Is that good? How's the volume? Am I blasting it too loudly?
Okay.
I can't see very well.
There we go. Hi, Amber. What's up, Madison? Hi, Britt. Saturday coming up. Yes, Justin, Dirty Springer.
Oh, when's your birthday, Emily? Emily's got a birthday coming up.
What's up, Brianna? Hello, Taylor. It paused. Am I back? What the heck is up with the service? I'm so sorry. Lost connection.
Okay, so here's another important part. So they're having technical problems right now. Things aren't working, website's down, whatever. They don't care about that. A lot of people freak out when they have problems. These people don't. And the reason they don't is because if you follow the chat when stuff is going bad, the people in the chat are reassuring them it'll be okay and they'll wait to buy it. They're not worried about it. So, you know, don't worry, we'll wait till the website comes back up or whatever. So they don't have a real, they're not like really super tense about all this stuff. It's whatever it is. And I can tell you, every show I've watched, something has happened. The website has crashed, the camera goes out, falls down. I mean, everything happens, and just don't sweat it. It's okay. You'll survive it. It's not mission. You're not launching a rocket to Mars. Okay. So I think that's pretty cool. And the other thing that they've done, and I must say, I don't know if Pop Shop Live allows it. I'm going to have to look, but notice how they have their website on the bottom of the page. So they're saying, hey, go to our website. You know, you don't like this? Fine, go to my website, buy whatever you want. So that's different too. And my guess is there's a way to do it. If Pop Shop won't let you actually put text on the screen, you can probably put a sign on the wall or something that directs people to your website. But that's a real good thing to do. So anyway, she's currently having a conniption because her technology is not working too well.
How did I lose connection? It's frozen. How? No!
It's lo-fi, baby. It's lo-fi.
Lost connection, trying to switch. Oh my gosh. Woo! Let's shake hands. Oh, I would love that, Dawn. Hello, Dawn. It's frozen. Why are you frozen? Why does the TikTok live just hate me?
Oh, I don't know.
Why?
Is it still frozen?
Yes.
How can you tell?
Because everyone's saying frozen. I see the red bubble right here. I feel like they always have issues with their site.
We'll jump forward a little bit here.
order 59532. Thank you. And Courtney W. order 59534. Thank you.
Okay, just one thing I want to point. So this has been about a half hour or so, maybe less, that this show's been on. Look at the sign with how many items are left to sell. They started with 50. These are $75 each, these bundles that they're selling. So they've sold 30 so far. It's roughly 30 minutes. You can see on the clock, 30 minutes is left in the show. But that gives you an idea of creating urgency. I want to get them singing their song.
So friggin' much. Here we go. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Woo! Oh, by Vessel. Yes, baby. Up next, we have Kelly H. order 59535, Leah N. 59537, and Jerry Z. 59539. Thank you all so much for your love and
Okay, what's happening now is people are buying stuff, and once they spend $100, they get a free turn of that wheel. So they're turning the wheel and giving these people extra stuff. And so that's what's going on. And they got a little routine every time. Big money, no, whatever. It's from some movie. I don't even know what movie it's from, but everyone else knows except me what the movie is from.
support. We are so thankful for you. Shonda has 6 bags of Bougie Bears in hand. Shonda, baby. Let's see, we have Ash in the house. My Vessel is a great prize. I know, we brought it back on the wheel, and I'm so freaking excited it's back.
Ooh,
Elizabeth says, yes, I just got a spin for flower du jour. What is it? LOL. It is our special hand-cut flower, baby. You're going to freaking love it. It's so beautiful. $50 off! Friggin' $50 off, baby. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Kelly, Leah, and Jerry. And thank you for your freaking order. We are so thankful for y'all. Delana's in the house, says green juice, green juice. Woo! I know, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Okay, enough of that insanity for now. It's actually fun to watch. They're just crazy, and they sell overhand. I mean, they sell like nobody's business. It's really insane. And I just wanted to give you an idea. But what's important here for your all's purposes is a set. That you need to have a set. You need to have decent lighting. You need to have decent sound, and your smartphone will be fine with both lighting, with sound and video. You're going to want to put it on some kind of tripod or something that keeps it steady, so you don't have to mess around with it too much. What will happen over time as you do this? So when you start off, you're going to be on Pop Shop Live, and that just takes one smartphone. What these people are doing is they actually have about 6 smartphones, all going at the same time, each one going to a different destination. So they're going to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, yada, 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 all at the same time. All around them are these they're not even new smartphones, they're old smartphones on tripods, streaming to multiple locations. We're not going to do that on October 4th, but it's something you might do in the future. You might find yourself comfortable, and you can even stream to your own website at some point. One of the things about this is really building your clientele. It's not going to happen overnight. Now, Pop Shop Live, it just so happens that they do have a few 100,000 people that are on that platform looking for stuff to buy. So you will make sales during that event, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you found your customer base. Your customer base may be somewhere else, right? So that's why I'm really just trying to introduce you to how all this is done, but what you ultimately end up doing may in fact, be slightly different. Any questions at this point? Go ahead, Jack. Can't hear you. Your volume's off. Can't hear you, Jack. No volume. There we go.
Got it. Sorry. If you'll check the chat box, a couple of people had questions about not getting verified as a seller yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll get there in a second. Let me just finish up here with a couple of things. Let's see here. I'm going to we'll get into some of that stuff in just 1 second. So I think Jack sent this along, but and I'll put this I guess I'm trying to figure out if we should have some kind of Facebook group or a private Facebook group for this group, Jack, or somewhere where we can post stuff. But there are 10 Pop Shop live tutorial videos that I have, and they'll walk you through every aspect, including if you want to run an auction during your show, you can do an auction, which is kind of cool, especially if you want to do something like some sort of charity auction where you're going to donate something to a charity. I think that's kind of cool. But we do have all of those videos, and I'll just figure out how we're going to get them where you can see them. I can't upload them to YouTube because they're copyrighted, but we'll figure out something where you can take a look at them. But there's a whole bunch of them. How to manage your catalog during the live show, so you can bring products in and out. You could put a product in your show that does not exist on your website or in your store. It could be something different. It could be a bundle with other stuff that you have. It doesn't have to be the same as any other channel that you have. I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's about how to connect your banking, shipping, all kinds of stuff. So this is very handy, and I'm not going to bore you with it now, but you can save yourself a lot of time by just looking through these. And I think Jack sent out a link to these, right, Jack? So these are in my Dropbox. I think I can make it so everybody can see them. I'll play around with that. So let's stop that share. Okay. All right. So so what's going on with Pop Shop? Pop Shop is a venture-funded company that is doing quite well, and they are really busy. And we don't necessarily have a product manager or a person that's in charge of our account. So that's why we're not getting these things like the user ID and all that kind of stuff. Believe me, we'll get all that done. I just have to get my guy there. As we get closer, he'll start paying attention to us. So we'll get it. Don't worry. It's not gonna not happen, but it will happen. Someone's asking, does it sync to Shopify? Yes, it does. So you can have your inventory connect directly to the Pop Shop Live. Pop Shop as a tool also has a shopping cart that's built in to the product, and you can add stuff in there that's not in your Shopify. And the people make the transaction while they're in the show. They don't leave the video to buy anything. You may, if you have your website there, people may in fact leave and go to a website, but it's designed to take place during the video show. That's the concept behind it. So I will work on getting everyone's user ID once we get a little closer and they start paying attention to us. But if all of you should in fact download the app on your phone. It's on both iOS and Android, and I believe it's on desktop too. You can download it for your computer and just take a look around. Try to watch some of the shows, get a sense of what's going on. Be helpful. You'll see a lot of people with purple hair and buying weird stuff, but that's okay. Their number one selling category are Disney pins. These are little pins that people collect that have Disney characters on. I don't know how they get around the trademark and all that, but that's their biggest category. So another really big category is anything Japanese related. Like they have a ton of anime. They even have anime snacks. And there's a company out there that's on this platform. They had 5 retail stores in Los Angeles. Once they got involved with this, they closed all 5 stores and built a 5,000 square foot studio in a warehouse. And now all they do is go live on Pop Shop Live, and their revenue is 10 times higher than when they were doing their stores. So this is a real opportunity to really step up financially if you can find the audience for your stuff. Yes, someone's asking specific. So this is how it works. Everybody has their own show. And you actually, once you get accepted and you get your shopper ID, and we have to set up this event on the site, which has not happened yet. It's another reason you're not getting everything you need. Once that is set up and everyone at Pop Shop Live knows you're part of that event, then you will schedule your show and you can share that with everyone you know. But you can do whatever you want. You can go live all day long. You can go live whenever you want at any time. There's no limit to that, okay? Even though there may be someone else in this group going live, it doesn't matter. It all can go at the same time. It's all concurrent. Some people might come to your show and not go to another one because they're just not interested. So it's not linear like we're used to with TV or other things. It's more circular. Everything's going on at once. Go ahead, Jack.
The analogy I use, it's not like you have a show and somebody's waiting to broadcast right after you. You have your own channel.
Yeah.
And so when you're done, your station, your channel goes off the air.
Yeah.
And so if and like as you mentioned to me before, if you're planning on an hour and you're done, but the sales are continuing on, you can continue on.
Yeah, that's a great point. So when we did our first show, we had somebody, let's see if I can find this. Sorry, having a little bit of trouble here. Copper action. Okay. So I'm just going to show this real briefly. We're not going to watch this, but I'm going to show it to you. So this is a student in our class. She graduated from ECU. She's been out 2 years this May, okay? And she sells weird stuff, I'll warn you, okay? So she goes out in the woods and finds insects and plants that she thinks are cool, covers them with copper and sells them as jewelry. That's how she got started. And she has since gotten involved in a lot of other things. I don't know how many of you are familiar with crystals. She makes rocking chairs for crystals, little tiny rocking chairs, and you put your crystal in there. So she's grossing $25,000 a month, and her only outlet is Pop Shop Live. After going on Pop Shop Live, she stopped doing everything else she was doing, and she just does this. And she is just killing it. She's got thousands of people that follow her on this. She found her tribe, right? And this is where they were. Now, yours may be or yours may not be. But she went live with us on November 11th, just like everyone else. And she was live for 3.5 hours. And then she took a break and came back that night and was live for another 3 hours that night. So she did 6 hours plus live that day and just sold an insane amount of stuff. So it just depends on what it is that you're selling. We'll just watch just a couple seconds of it just so you get a sense.
If anyone's a veteran as well, I think today, yeah. So if anyone has anything specific they popped on here to see, are you interested in seeing jewelry or crystals the most? Hey Arius, I'm super excited you made this live. Someone that I recognize. Hey Dennis. Jewelry, awesome, yes. Oh, and Amanda, I think you were on Instagram as well.
Well, since we're watching, I'll just make a couple observations. So you can see the chat kind of going by on her, similar to the other one, only in this case, it's on the other side. She is having a conversation. She is not selling. She is asking them, what is it that you're interested in? What would you like to see? Why are you here? And if you watch her, this is how she rolls. This is her style. She will actually hold up items and go, does anybody want me to post this for sale, or would you rather I not? And sometimes they say yes, and sometimes they say no. And if they say yes, she puts it on there and they buy it immediately. So it's a very laid back. And I think, Renata, you might have somebody pointed it out this morning in class. This is a very laid back scene. This is not high pressure selling 101 by any stretch of the imagination. I think it was Samantha.
Like talking to your neighbor on the phone.
Yeah, it's a very laid back, it's not movie quality or any of that kind of stuff. It's about what is that you're selling, your story, your background, who you are. The people that are on here want to know all that. We had a story this morning. I think it was Samantha. I didn't know if Samantha's here or not, but anyway, she talked about how she got into the business, how her mother taught her to cook. And then people started telling their stories about how their mother taught them to cook and what they like to eat and what they like to make. And, it's just this, it's not high pressure, intense type of selling at all. And Ashley, and I was going to go over this in another class, and so I'll save it. But what she does technique wise, she does totally naturally. No one's ever trained her, to my knowledge. I certainly didn't. But her methods are incredibly effective. Just like the maniacs with the hats, and Ashley's nothing like that. She's laid back, she's cool, very quiet type person. If she was in the room, she wouldn't even say a word. You wouldn't even know she was there. That's kind of way she is, compared to the woman with the screaming and calling everyone baby. And so there isn't one way to do it. But I think be yourself, have your story, ready to explain just why are you doing this? What are you trying to accomplish, and so forth. It will help you approach this in a way maybe not as quite as anxiety inducing, if you realize that you're really having a conversation with new friends potentially. Okay, anything else? Anybody want to? That's really all I have at the moment. Yeah, someone's asking clarifying questions. Yes, if sales are continuing, you can keep airing live. There's not a set time for starting for them. I do encourage a set start time, because you got to tell people about this, right? They've never interacted with you in this way. So you gotta do some kind of start time. It may be over time that they know you're live every Wednesday at 6 o'clock or whatever. That will develop. But you got to have a set start time, I think, to help people. And you can promote this on all of your channels, all your social media, whatever you want to do. Once you get your user ID and all that, you'll be on the app and you'll be able to go to your little, the way it works. I can't do it on here right now, but your show or your unit is the best way to look at it. You will film a little brief 10 or 15 second introduction. Okay, it's like, hi, I'm Dennis. I live in Pink Hill. I sell grape jelly. Please come see me Wednesday at 6 o'clock. That's about how long it is. So will make these, and that's what will be playing on the app all the time. That's a constant thing that's running. It's your little promo, and you can change it, and you can have more than one. But the point is, that's how you hook people, and they're kind of looking around. And we are all going to be under this GottobeNC live event. If I can, one of the problems we have with Pop Shop Live is they're very insistent on using their graphics, which drives me crazy and can be a real problem for the state of North Carolina if they do something we don't like with the logo. So that remains to be an issue, just so you know. But we will be in an event. They'll probably end up calling it a North Carolina farmers market. Who knows? They do whatever they want. There's nothing I can do about it. But you will be there. And so when someone clicks on that on the app, they're going to see you all, and your little previews will be there. And your previews will also be in the wild. You'll also be on the app in general, not just in that event space. So someone's asking if you want to do a live show. Yes, you can go live anytime. You can go live right now if you want. Anytime, once you're approved, you can go live literally whenever you want. And some other things about it, we'll go into more detail in our next meeting, but you can have a guest host with you, like the way these crazy people do from Appalachian Standard. So you can have a host with you wherever you are physically in your location, or you can do a split screen and the host can be somewhere else and come into your live. So they might be a vendor, might be a family member, whatever. You'll be able to split screen and have them get involved as well. So those are all things to keep in mind. The other thing is, I mentioned that these people have this kind of scripted show process that they do every time. The advantage of that in doing that, it takes away that anxiety of long, quiet moments when no one's talking. What do, right? You're sitting there for an hour, you're sick to death of what you're talking about, and if you follow a process like this, you won't have that kind of problem because your next little thing will be coming up. You could have a drawing for a charity. You could just do any number of things. You be creative, and you can spend some time on Pop Shop and probably see some examples of some of the stuff people do. No one does like Appalachian Standard though, that I've run across, and they're not even on Pop Shop Live that I know of. But they've got it going pretty good. 880,000 followers. I still can't get over that in Candler, North Carolina. So any other questions, thoughts at this point? Sarah?
Dennis, I was wondering, does Pop Shop have the subtitles at the bottom? I noticed that they had those on that Appalachian.
Don't know.
They
Good
don't?
question. I don't know. So really, I bet you they have a caption on and off.
Closed caption.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Not sure.
I guess there's probably something on Pop Shop after I downloaded the app where we could ask that, right?
Yeah, I would think so. And
Okay.
we will post these videos. It might be in there. And unfortunately, my contact there is the CEO, right? So they're terrible contact. You can never do anything with the CEO. They're too busy. They never call you back. So that's my problem with this company is my contact is the CEO. Sooner or later, they'll pay attention to me. But to keep asking your questions and keep putting them together, we'll eventually get an answer. But I can promise you, none of this is a big deal. This is everything that's being presented as far as questions. This is nothing. We're not going to have any problem at all. The thing that you guys are going to have to play around with is your set. What do you want your set to look like? What kind of background do you want? What's your lighting like? Is your phone okay? Or do you have to get a different phone? All that kind of stuff. That's where you have to really focus at this point is getting your set. I would argue putting together your show, like the things you want, these little crazy events or whatever. Think about, do you want a guest host or do you want, a guest period, somebody to come on there and talk about stuff. The host thing, the double host is really the way to go if you can figure out how to do it. It's a much more dynamic presentation. People after a while, it's just hard to be on for an hour, no matter what your subject. And having that play off somebody, whether it's joking or, giving each other grief, whatever, that dynamic, as you know, in every television show, all the late night shows have the main host, and then they have Ed McMahon sitting there, or whoever, straight man or whatever. So, yeah, someone's asking about pay. There's no cost here, except there is a cost when you sell something. They charge, Pop Shop charges a 10% commission, which includes the credit card fee, just so you know. And, so that there is that fee that when you sell something on the Pop Shop app, that's how they make their money. That's it. They charge a commission, but there's no upfront cost. I would argue there are upfront costs if you have to, get your phone together or get your set put together. If you don't have that at this moment, you may have a little bit of expense there. But other than that, there's no other cost other than paying Jack Nails off, so you get a really favorable time for your show. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Gray, how are you today?
Hey, good. Sorry to be joining late, but yeah, I pay Jack off all the time, so that won't be a problem.
Yeah, good. Well, we've recorded this, Gray, so you can.
Excellent.
You can
Well,
watch it
that's on record then.
Yeah, we got it in our YouTube channel. You'll be able to watch these, and we're going to have several of these as time goes on. Once Pop Shop actually responds to me, it'll be better because I'll have facts that I get. Right now, I'm kind of tap dancing because no one has talked to me from Pop Shop yet, but they will as we get closer. They're worse than a college student for procrastination and putting stuff off, but we won't have any problem. Ray, did you have any questions? You came on late, so you may have some questions that are in the back of your mind.
No, I've been chasing other things, so I'm just here to kind of listen in and see what we can learn.
Okay. So just as kind of a quick review for Gray, you basically set up a smartphone on a tripod, have some kind of set behind you that's halfway appealing, and you can have a script, but not a script for words, but a script for things that will go on during your show. Now, what I mean by that is some kind of routine. Okay, now we go to the picture of the farm, and you just come up with that kind of script. Mimi's asking another question here. Yes, Pop Shop collects the money and sends it to you. And they also send you the shipping label by email, prepaid.
Okay.
So you can ship the stuff out as well, or you can use your own shipping. We're going to get into all of these specifics as we go through this process once somebody from there responds to me, if I'm lucky. So any other questions or?
Dennis, you may be going to cover this later because it's a follow-on to the shipping question. So they charge it seems like they had some sort of deal when we did the 11/11 day on shipping. Now, was that just special for us, or is that kind of the way they do shipping?
That's the way they do shipping.
Okay, so they were doing like a $10 kind of promotion kind of thing. Was that just something they did for us on the 11/11?
The $10 promotion was they did for us, yes. But the shipping, if you remember, was $5.99 flat. So no matter how many items you buy, it's $5.99. And they send you the label prepaid so that you slap that on a box and send it out to your customer. Now, Gray's dealing with different things like refrigeration and freezing, and we'll talk about that as well. But the fundamental way they work, they email you a prepaid label, and the consumer pays the shipping cost, which is usually $5.99 flat for however many items you order during your show. It's not forever. It's not every item from you, but during that show. And you get the label by email and you ship it out. And once that label is scanned at the post office, they deposit the money into your account. That's how
right. I remember that now, but that was for like a medium flat or a regional A, I think, box. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what I was remembering.
Yeah, there's shipping, as all of you know, is very complex, and they've simplified it to a great extent. But there's still gonna be, everyone's gonna have a little something weird, little something to deal with. So I don't want to undersell it, but we really didn't have any problems that I know of. And Gray may find this interesting. One of our guys last time was shipping grass-fed beef, frozen. And he actually made a tremendous number of sales in Alaska and Hawaii with his beef. And
Oh, wow, yeah. Well, yeah, if
he
they're
had
covered shipping.
added shipping into his pricing, so he called it free shipping, but the shipping was built in. They
Okay.
didn't care. People in Alaska can't get grass-fed beef,
Yep.
so they bought a ton of it.
Hey, Dennis.
So, any
Just
other questions, concerns?
Dennis, can you hear me?
Can't hear you, Renati. Maybe it's me. I don't know. You're muted. I think my speaker
Is that
might be
better?
bad. Let's see here. Sorry.
Hear you.
Dennis, are you good?
Let me try this. Okay. So, can you all hear me now?
We can hear you.
I can't hear you, Nadia. I'm having a problem at my end. Hear
If
you
everybody
all.
else can hear
Sorry.
me, do a little wave. I want to do
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, it's at
Maybe
Dennis's
you're
end.
talking. Hold on. Let me turn maybe I turned my volume off somehow. No, it's on full blast. Oh, well.
So,
All right. That's it for today, folks. I'm out of something here. No, sorry, Renati. Put it in the chat or send me an email. I'm going to type my email here in the chat for all of you.
I can cover it Thursday if we're going to meet again.
Trots at acceleraterural.org is my email. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Jack also knows what's going on and can help. And this is a unique opportunity to build your brand to a new audience. It's not about being live. It's about your brand and your story and who you are. And you're going to have the opportunity to really pitch that, if you will, or let people know who you are, what you're all about. And I think you'll be surprised by the volume of sales, and also it's really fun. It's a fun thing. It's a lot more fun than sitting behind some website with 10,000 products trying to search through and find something and put it in your basket and have it show up in a box full of plastic bubble wrap. It's a lot more fun than that. I can promise you. All right. Well, hopefully you all can hear me. You're nodding, so I assume you can. I cannot hear any of you. So, it's the story of my life. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and we will schedule another one here soon. I was thinking about tomorrow, but I think I'm going to wait until my friend Jack from Pop Shop responds to me, and I have something to say that's true and current, because I haven't worked with this in 3 or 4 months. So I'm probably in that world. That's like a lifetime, right? They probably change every single thing they do in that period of time. But anyway, well, thank you all for coming today.